In today's digital age, cameras are ubiquitous, and it's not uncommon to see them in public places, on our phones, or even in our homes. With the proliferation of cameras, it's become easier than ever to capture and document events as they unfold. However, sometimes these cameras capture more than just everyday life. In some instances, cameras have recorded people confessing to crimes, sometimes even unwittingly. This phenomenon has led to some compelling and controversial cases, raising questions about the role of technology in law enforcement and criminal justice. Hello everyone, and welcome to another video. Today we'll be looking at times people confess to crimes on camera. Yeah, you heard it right. Majority Brooke, Peter Steer, an Australian cinematographer for 7 News, was dispatched to the Queensland coastal town of Noosa Heads in November 2014 to cover a shooting. On the way there, he was flagged down by a motorcyclist named Geordie Brooke, who revealed that he was responsible for the incident in question. Steer then contacted the police while filming Brooke's tearful confession to the crime. Brooke had a change of heart and seized the cameraman's car at gunpoint while waiting for the police. After crashing into a gas station, he was ultimately apprehended and charged with multiple crimes, including attempted murder and armed robbery. Jared Murray. In 2012, Jared Murray and Gennaro Sanchez were both undergraduates at Oklahoma's East Central University. Murray convinced Sanchez to drive into Walmart on December 5th by offering to pay him $20. This was Sanchez's final journey, as he was murdered by Murray in his own vehicle. Murray escaped the scene, but was ultimately apprehended while hitchhiking to Canada. Murray readily admitted his guilt during police questioning, delivering a chilling confession seemingly devoid of contrition. He confessed to planning the murder weeks in advance and believed he deserved to be executed. He was instead declared not guilty due to insanity and remanded to a mental health facility. Earl Valentine. While many people have confessed to their offenses during interviews or police interrogations, Earl Valentine essentially boasted about this on Facebook. In a spooky September 2016 live stream, Valentine confessed to shooting his ex-wife Keisha and their son Earl Jr. After her restraining order against Valentine had expired, Keisha and Earl Jr. moved to Norlina, North Carolina in an attempt to evade him. In the video, Valentine claimed he shot his ex-wife in retaliation for her attempt to tarnish his reputation. Later, police traced Valentine to a motel in Columbia, South Carolina, but he'd already committed suicide. Daniel Wozniak. Daniel Wozniak, a community theater actor in Costa Mesa, California, was arrested in May 2010 after the corpse of Julie Kiburishi was discovered in the apartment of his neighbor, Sam Herr. Herr was presumed to have escaped after taking Kiburishi's life, and police were on the lookout for him at the time. Initially, while in police custody, Wozniak denied having any involvement in the offense. However, after several hours of interrogation, he confessed to murdering Kiburishi and Herr, a war veteran, in order to collect his combat pay savings. Wozniak was convicted of 2 counts of first-degree homicide and sentenced to death in 2016. Mark Chopper Reed. Mark Chopper Reed was one of the most notorious outlaws in Australian history, with a lengthy criminal record that included armed robbery, kidnapping, and arson. Reed spent a significant portion of his adult existence in prison due to his notorious activities. The notorious gangster contracted hepatitis C in prison and was later diagnosed with liver cancer. Just prior to his death, Reed gave an interview with 60 Minutes Australia in which he confessed to being responsible for the deaths of 4 individuals. Perhaps the most shocking aspect of the interview, which was conducted just 16 days before Reed's death, was the casual manner in which he described his gruesome offenses. Sean Vincent Gillies. Sean Vincent Gillies' crimes were so abhorrent that he referred to himself as pure evil. Over a decade, Gillies was responsible for the deaths of 8 women in and around Baton Rouge, Louisiana. As the other Baton Rouge killer, he was notorious for performing disturbing acts on his victims' corpses. In 2004, he was arrested and charged with 3 homicides, to which he ultimately confessed, along with 5 others. Gillies described in detail how he would track down his victims and how he would execute them. However, he was only found guilty of the first 3 homicides and sentenced to life in prison without parole. Ed Kemper. Ed Kemper was responsible for the deaths of 10 individuals, including his own mother and paternal grandparents, making him a truly disturbing figure. On April 20th, 1973, after killing his mother and one of her friends, Kemper contacted the police and confessed to the crimes. Kemper was charged with and convicted of 8 of the 10 homicides, for which he received 8 consecutive life sentences. Throughout his incarceration, Kemper granted numerous interviews, including one for the documentary Murder, No Apparent Motive. in which he discusses offenses in detail. The FBI's Behavioral Science Unit, which is portrayed in the Netflix series Mindhunter, also created a profile of him. Robert Durst. In 2015, HBO transmitted the 6-part true crime documentary series, The Jinx, a critically acclaimed program centered on real estate magnate Robert Durst, who at the time was suspected of murdering his wife, Kathleen McCormick, and his close friend, Susan Berman. In the concluding episode, Durst is shown a letter about Berman's murder that appears to be written in his handwriting, but he categorically denies being the author. Then, in what is arguably one of the most shocking moments on television, he enters the restroom and presumably confesses to the crimes while his microphone is still active. 3 months after receiving a life sentence for the murder of Berman, Durst died from cardiac arrest. So that's all for today's video. If you enjoyed it, remember to leave a like, subscribe, and ring that bell icon so that you never miss our upcoming videos. And don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments section down below. Stay tuned, and we'll catch you in the next video.